Greetings people, what's up, what's happening? My name is Dr. Clarence and welcome to TV7 Live, where we get to give you all the hottest and top trending topics. Juke fire guys, wherever you're watching us from. Thank you everybody for choosing to watch TV7 Live. Before you proceed with this video, I'd like to ask you for one favor. Please make sure you click that like button and make sure you leave a comment when you finish watching this video, right? So today we want to talk about the Zimbabwe hearing yakaitika ku USA, right? Where the Americans were asking the Zimbabwean delegation yangatumirwa na Tsvangirai to give them reasons to drop the Zimbabwe sanctions. America was asking for this delegation for reasons to drop the Zimbabwe sanctions. And guys, I shared this video earlier, but now we're going to be talking about it in detail, right? I want you guys to see what happened, right? So I'm going to play the video one more time so that we all can see, so that you all can see, just in case I'm not going to, and I'm going to play one more video and it's not going to upload it, right? So I'm going to play two videos. Then we're going to talk about that, right? Guys, we're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about that. And we're going to talk about, all right, without wasting much of your time, let me play you the video.
February 2016, and like many, I was very pleased to see him go after 37 brutal years. But
there have been reports that the British government may consider extending a bridge loan to Zimbabwe in order to clear unpaid arrears and open up funding from the IMF and World Bank.
While we're engaging with the new government with an open mind, it's not enough to say it's a new government, so therefore none of the sanctions or restrictions that were previously in place should apply. We will continue to look for signs of actual implementation. For example, the election that is coming up, there was encouraging news that the period for voter registration has been extended into February.
If we reward Mnangagwa's same as it ever was, ZANU-PF, for its internal coup, for example, by prematurely dropping individual sanctions.
All right, guys, this guy, I want you to listen carefully. This guy is not American. This guy is Zimbabwean. This guy is from Zimbabwe. Peter Godwin is from Zimbabwe. He's a lawyer based in Zimbabwe, right? He's telling US not to drop sanctions. I want you to listen to what he's saying with the fact that this guy is Zimbabwean.
We would help cement the culture as same as it ever.
Period for voter registration has been extended into February.
If we reward Mnangagwa's same as it ever was, ZANU-PF, for its internal coup, for example, by prematurely dropping individual sanctions, we would help cement the culture of impunity that already infects Zimbabwe, where the perpetrators never face the consequence of their actions and where real freedom and reform remain elusive.
Our country is in the middle of
Right about now, let's talk about Goodwin. This Mr. is saying, sanction, you are rewarding these guys. These sanctions do not affect these guys. Write your comments, guys. I'm going to start reading your comments. These sanctions do not affect Mnangagwa and Chiwenga. Those guys, they are billionaires. Those guys, they are rich. Those guys have money. These sanctions affect every Zimbabwean, every average Zimbabwean, right? Apparently, this Mr. Goodwin doesn't know how it feels like to sleep on an empty stomach. This Mr. BT doesn't know how it feels like to sleep on an empty stomach. Tsvangirai doesn't know how it feels like to sleep on an empty stomach. These sanctions are kuwachisa isusu. Most people, just like as Mr. Godwin put it, to misrepresent facts, atichi individual sanctions, right? Muchaterera. Americans what these sanctions really are, and these guys are inviting more sanctions until there is a free and fair election. They are concerned about the elections, not about the life of every Zimbabwean, right? We don't care as long as there is food on the table. What are these guys doing? They're supposed to convince the Americans to drop the sanctions. They say add more pressure. All right, let me play. Let's go to Mr. BT.
a transition from a very unhappy regime of 37 years of the torture and pain. But like any transition, it can be a captured transition, it can be a derailed transition, it can be a hijacked transition. That is not what the thousands and thousands of people who marched on the 18th of November 2017 are seeking for. But what is the precondition?
Mr. BT, who made you the spokesperson of the millions of Zimbabweans? That is not what Zimbabweans want. Mr. BT, you are an idiot.
To move to this genuine transition. In our view, the starting point must be returned to true legitimacy, constitutionalism, and the rule of law.
My testimony will first lay out.
While we return to rule of law, while we return to that, we want food on the table. Right? I'm gonna play this one more idiot, right? And you're gonna listen to what this idiot is saying, guys. Listen carefully. This idiot is Zimbabwean, right? Let me play. Bear in mind that this idiot is a Zimbabwean idiot.
Must be returned to true legitimacy, constitutionalism, and the rule of law.
My testimony will first lay out the human rights situation in Zimbabwe since the military takeover, and then highlight key recommendations to the US government for action to press the interim Zimbabwean government to ensure a rights-respecting environment leading to democratic, credible, transparent, and peaceful elections and political stability thereafter. We also urge the US administration to provide direct financial and technical support to the government that comes to power through credible, free and fair elections, and that is committed to strengthening democratic state institutions that promote the rule of law, good governance and human rights.
I think it's critical.
All right, guys, that's the first clip. You hear these guys, they're concerned about an election, they're concerned about ZANU-PF going, they're concerned about Zimbabweans, right? Of course, if ZANU-PF must go, they must go. But not through manipulating around that way. Not through manipulating around that way. Inviting sanctions. That is bad. That is bad. Guys, I'm going to talk about Gukura Hundi in my next video, right? But right about now, let's talk about this Nyaya. I'm going to talk about Gukura Hundi and what's happening in Zimbabwe and the next vice president, who that person is going to be, right? But right about now, let us talk about the sanctions and what Tendai BT and his guys are doing in America. These guys are inviting more sanctions to pressure. Akomana, it's not that easy to remove ZANU-PF. It's not that easy. You can never remove ZANU-PF overnight. Anybody with common sense, common sense, knows that, right? We can't have United Nations coming into Zimbabwe to run elections for us, right? These guys were from America and a bit in a chamisa vachibuda meeting with those Senate for Zimbabwean hearing. These guys will be laughing. We'll be laughing at those idiots. They'll be laughing. Big up to everybody. I'm gonna start reading your comments right about now. Then I play you the next video, right? I'm gonna read just 5 comments, guys. All right. Stephen Muchawaya says we want Mnangagwa to go and join Mugabe. Ronald Rangariro says Doc Madi. Stephen Muchawaya. Doc, ZANU-PF must go. Rejoice Mutembo Gazuri say big up. Madanone Staff says, yeah, I think that's what we need for now to remove ZANU-PF. Outsource sanctions. So, Mr. Madanano, you're saying it's okay for people to suffer. It's okay for the sanctions. Okay, if that's what you want, okay, that is what will happen because you want it. You want the sanctions, right? That's what you want. All right. Mimi, Marimo, big up everybody. All right, guys, let me play you the second video. Richard says, don't call other people idiots as if you are not. You're broadcasting lies to support Mnangagwa. So these videos that I'm playing, they're lies to support Mnangagwa. Richard Mbano, that's how dumb you are. I'm playing you a video. We are looking at someone clear. Then you say that are not. Right? Sometimes I think people like you deserve the suffering that you are going through. You deserve it. Especially you, Richard Mbano. Right? How can this be lies when I'm playing you the videos of what happened? Right? Let me play the second video. If you think I'm an idiot, go and watch SABC or ZBC. Stop watching my videos. Go and watch other channels. Iwoboma channel. Right? I am playing the truth, what's happening. I'm a Zimbabwean and have a right to have a say. Right? Saka iwewe, kana uchimwa idiot. Don't watch channel ya idiots because you are even a more idiotic idiot than the idiot who you are calling the idiot. Alright guys, let me play the next video. Don't worry about this idiot.
That the people of Zimbabwe not see one dictator replaced by another. And so I, for one, am reluctant to see us take any steps to lighten or relieve sanctions or other international restrictions on loans or partnership until we see, as you suggested in your testimony, concrete steps by the administration of Emerson Mnangagwa and any successors.
As far as governance goes and respect for human rights, we would like to see immediate implementation of freedom of expression, freedom of assembly, free and responsible media, including social media, the preparations for the elections, that as I mentioned, anti-corruption. I believe they've given a 90-day window for people to return ill-gotten gains as an amnesty. Will that happen? Will corruption be pursued in an impartial way?
All right, guys, you see this lady? This lady is the foreign minister. She is American. She's actually standing for Zimbabweans better than Zimbabweans are doing. Oh, Winfrey says take off your cap. I can't take off my cap because my hair is bow. So I'm wearing this cap. That's what it's for. I'm very sorry about that. If you don't like a nice cap, I'm very sorry about that. Alright guys, this lady is American. Standing for Zimbabweans more than Zimbabweans are doing. Let me continue playing the video clip. Real video clips. Muna anota achiona ma video clips achiti ma lies. Do you remember? Do all right. Anyway, I'm gonna block that video when I finish this broadcast.
In an apolitical way, how will things progress in terms of rule of law and due process? Those are on the governance side. So we'd like to see an improved investment climate. Since investors vote with their feet, they are watching very closely because there are potential opportunities there. But investors want to be able to repatriate their earnings. And again, the rule of law and a level playing field will be very important in the economic sphere as well. In addition, in the security sector, we would like to see the security sector earn the trust of the citizens, and that would include police reforms.
The accountability for atrocities, which is, I think, something that is, I'm sure you agree, is of profound importance. Tens of thousands have been killed in numerous, fortunately, raids and operations and massacres. Church groups have documented an alarming record of government-sponsored atrocities before the 2008 elections. We see the State Department said in 2000 that Mnangagwa was widely feared and despised throughout the country. That's the State Department's words, and could be an even more repressive leader than Mugabe.
Zimbabwe now faces an uncertain future, but one which presents real opportunities for reconstructing, rebuilding, and refabricating a new Zimbabwean story and a new Zimbabwean society. Without a doubt, 37 years of President Mugabe's rule were a sad story of capture, coercion, corruption, poverty, and delegitimization. Zimbabweans lived in fear under a system that paid no respect to their rights, and a system that saw continuous impoverishment and suffering, loss of livelihoods amongst ordinary citizens.
Sorry about that, guys. The mic. Sorry about that. I'm saying you hear those guys talking about Mnangagwa may be actually a worse leader than President Mugabe. But Mnangagwa has been in power. What did he say? I am open to everybody. Right? I'm going to choose my ministers from any political party. But Morgan Tsvangirai stopped Mnangagwa. Now you're going to believe because you are seeing this video and what these guys were saying. Morgan Tsvangirai asked for vice presidency. Kuti upinze ma minister angu, ma MP angu mu cabinet. You need to make me vice president. Right? That is the truth. That is what happened. Right? Those guys, they didn't even support the impeachment until the last day when Morgan Tsvangirai addressed people in the parliament. Now they're saying we started the impeachment. Right? It's unfortunate guys, kana kuchikoro chaiko chikoro class ine vanhu 50 vanonyatsozwisisa i5. That's the unfortunate part. That's the unfortunate part. So I understand if a lot of people what's going on here. All right, this guy is talking about Gukurahundi, and we're gonna be talking about Gukurahundi here and what really happened, right? We're gonna talk about Gukurahundi, and guys, trust me, you will like what you Gukurahundi. I'm gonna talk about it in the next video that I'm gonna do, right? But right about now, let me just read your comments, guys. Big up to everybody who's watching us live right about now. Yeah. All right, let me read more of your comments, guys. Blessing Mada. Josiah Murimira, how is it? Big up. Tinashe Chikosi says, yes, I love your information. Adnok, how is it? Jane Mataz says, it's a dilemma. Stephen Muchawa says, Doc, me and you, we're not going to get married in this bad government of murderers. I don't know about that. Oh, Mimi Marimo, BT, Wena, Umtakati. Okay. No, don't mind people who are against you. Keep updating us, Doc. We love TV7 Live, but right, that's Madananima stuff. Of course, yes, if somebody doesn't like TV7 Live, they should just go and watch SIBC or ZBC. There are a lot of channels which are even better than this one. Just go and watch those ones. Alright, guys. The next Nyaya, I want to talk about Gukurahundi. We're going to talk about Gukurahundi. What happened pa Gukurahundi? We're going to be talking about that in the next video. From the start to the end. Right? So guys, you better stick around. Because takwenda kumakata manje. We going in the deep. Gukurahundi. How it started. Who started it? Who was involved? What happened? We're gonna be talking about all that and more, right? In 5 minutes, I'm gonna be back with the Gukurahundi story. I'm gonna talk about it without fear, without favor, and I'm gonna talk about it once and for all, right? Guys, Dr. Clarence, TV7 Live, big up, enough respect to everybody who was watching us live right about now. Yeah, thank you for your comments, guys. Thank you for your support. And to everybody who doesn't like TV7 Live, go and watch other channels and stop watching TV7 Live. Dr. Clarence, TV7 Live, I am out. Thank you, everybody. Love you.